All right. Oh, it's so good to have BS or Real Talk back. One of our favorite games. I give you quotes. Zach and Kendrick are going to determine if that quote is BS or, yep, Real Talk. First up, guys, the Nets shocked the Milwaukee Bucks on Monday. They were 19-point underdogs, making this the biggest upset in 27 years. However, Brooklyn may have had a little inside information. Here is Garrett Temple.
We stay in the same hotel as the Houston Rockets, and we talked to them by the pool yesterday, and we told them we'll play Milwaukee and asked them a few things that they did. We saw that they beat them. You know, obviously they're very undersized. That's how they play. And they gave us a few tips, and we took that to heart.
So, Kendrick, is Garrett Temple saying that the Rockets chatting with the Nets by the pool and giving them tips led to the victory? Is that BS or Real Talk?
That's real talk. And Rachel, you know it's real talk by the interviews you had with Giannis and James. We know there's two guys that don't like each other. The Rockets just beat the Bucks before that, and they gave them the tips. Because if you watched the game last night, they loaded up the paint. In the first half, they took away Giannis' driving lanes. And on the offensive end, they moved the ball and they shot three-pointers. They knocked down threes, and that's how they beat the Bucks. The Nets shot the three very well, so that's real talk. I know the Rockets gave them some points.
BS. Unless the Rockets told the Nets to tell Mike Budenholzer to not play his best players in the second half as that strategy, I'm calling BS.
What? How, Zach? They put up 70 points on them in the first half with their players on the floor. That's real talk.
Wait, Kendrick, wait. You guys can't get into a long argument about that because I got to move on to the next BS or Real Talk. In the Celtics Heat game, Marcus Smart fouled out of the game in the third quarter. He was not happy with the officials. He let them hear it. But don't worry because Jaylen Brown has got his back. Take a listen.
Don't pick on Smart, man. Come on, we need him. Don't pick on Smart, man. Come on, we need him.
All right, so Zach, is Jaylen Brown saying that the refs are picking on Marcus Smart, BS or Real Talk?
Come on, Jaylen Brown. Look, he's being a good teammate, so in that sense, it's real talk. You gotta stick up for your teammates. Perk will say this. Rule number one, stick up for your teammates. But no, BS. The refs are not targeting Marcus Smart. The refs do not come into games with vendettas against players. So I'm going BS, but I like Jaylen Brown supporting his teammate. That's a very nice teammate.
Zach, here's what Zach wrong again. Here's where he's wrong again. It's real talk because the refs have a history of not putting their pride aside and picking on players. I watched that game yesterday, and at least 3 of those fouls were not fouls. They had a radar. They was targeting Marcus Smart, and I'm standing with Jaylen Brown. Stop picking on Marcus Smart. Period.
I don't know, guys. Every player thinks that the foul was not, that he didn't commit it, and one player thinks that the ball did not go out on them every time. I don't know if we can trust a player on this, Kendrick. I'm sorry. I just got to say that you guys always think you're right, that every call is wrong, and everyone's being persecuted. So
Well,
I'm just saying.
Well, Rachel, listen, I was a victim of refs picking on me, so I know how it feels. I know how it feels.
All right, last but not least, I want to revisit the Jump's longest-running soap opera. Yes, this is near and dear to my heart. It's time for As the Kings Turn. Oh, yes. In today's installment, our heroes, they have fallen to 0-3 inside of the bubble after losing to the Mavericks yesterday in overtime. Yet, despite all of their woes on the court and off, the hero they need, veteran guard Kent Bazemore, is doing his best to keep morale up inside the Sacramento locker room. Listen to the Kings' latest leading man, quote, "I told the guys after the game we're progressing, not regressing. We've got 5 games left, and if we figure it out, we run these 5 off, who knows where we are? We're still right in the thick of things. The optimism is still there." Oh, Kendrick, it warms the heart to hear them say like this. Is Bazemore's script for As the Kings Turn, his optimism for the Kings, BS or Real Talk?
Well, listen, Rachel, they are playing some good basketball and they're losing, and they are trending in the right direction. It's just not for the bubble. They're trending in the right direction for next season. So that's BS. Even if they run off 5 games, I think they playing catch up, and they will not have a chance to make the playoffs. So I appreciate Ken Bazemore for being optimistic and being that veteran leader, but that's BS.
Real talk. Come on, Kings. Don't give up. If they beat the Pelicans tomorrow, they have a fighting chance. Look, everyone likes to make fun of the Kings, the Kangs, same old Kings. They had a lot of positive COVID tests. They had an accidental food delivery quarantine. It's not shocking that they got off to a slow start. It's still salvageable. It's still salvageable for them. That's all I'm saying. If they beat the Pelicans tomorrow, their schedule is relatively easy compared to some of the other teams. I like Kent Bazemore's optimism. I'm calling it real talk. Go Kings.
Man, Zach is saying there's a chance. I don't know. Major plot twist if that happens, but we'll keep an eye on As the Kings Turn. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.